Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, may the Senate do receive a report of the Senate Committee on Ethics, Privileges, and Public Petition from Dr. Groovy Uzwani against Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria over an alleged undue withholding of his additional qualifications license. Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, the second petition I will step down for further information and consultation. So if it pleases Mr. President, may I come forward to lay this report?
You need a second. Let someone second and then the motion will be moved before you do that. Sorry, we have to move to this side of the aisle. Hi, Ijo Chief Benson Agadaga. You have the floor to second the motion moved by Senator Barrister Nelda Emerson of the Asian Benin Kingdom.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, Senator Chief Benson Sunday Agadaga is my name. I speak for the good people of Bayelsa East Senatorial District in Bayelsa State. I rise, Mr. President, to second the motion ably moved by distinguished Senator Neda for the presentation of his report and subsequent consideration. I so second, Mr. President. Thank you very much.
Those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The ayes have it. Senator Neda, you may proceed to lay your report.
Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, again, I thank you for this opportunity. This petition from Dr. Groovy Uzwani against Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria over an alleged undue withholding of his additional qualification and license. The committee met, Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, and considered this report in details. Both parties, the Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria was represented, as well as the petitioner, Dr. Groovy Uzwani. The allegation was duly considered, and if I may abridge the report, the petitioner is a graduate of a medical college in Cuba, came to Nigeria and went to be enrolled without the necessary examinations to be enrolled as a medical doctor to practice in Nigeria. The Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria insisted that he must write and pass the examination before he can be so registered. That is the core of the allegation. Upon investigation and interrogations of both parties, it became very clear that the petitioner wants to be registered without the necessary examination as required by the Dental Council and Medical Council of Nigeria. And therefore, having considered all that, and having seen that taking and passing such exam is synchronous to being enrolled as a practicing medical doctor in Nigeria, the committee resolved, therefore, that the case be dismissed and that he be advised to accordingly take the requirement, the necessary examination, so that he can be registered. So, Mr. President, in a nutshell, that is the report. And as such, we thank you. We thank the President, distinguished colleagues, on behalf of the committee, in giving us this opportunity to serve. Thank you, Mr. President, distinguished colleagues.
So, the recommendation is that the Senate do direct the petitioner, Dr. Groby Ozwani, to comply with the guidelines on registration as a medical or dental practitioner in Nigeria of the Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria, MDCN, by writing and passing the assessment exam to enable him be eligible for registration and issued with additional qualification license. Is this recommendation agreed upon by the Senate? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for members of the committee for doing a good job. This is what is applicable all over the world. The profession of medicine is not something that can be toyed with by any nation. The required body has to assess anyone who concluded studies anywhere before any university in the world. It could be Ivy League college in the United States or top-ranked university in the world. But when you come to Nigeria, you must go through the necessary route of passing the professional examination before you are qualified to practice. It's sine qua non. That examination and test is quite sine qua non before you practice. So all other persons should take note. And the committee, you've done very well by advising the gentleman, Dr. Groby Ozwani, as you did. Thank you very much. The Leader of the Senate.
Mr. President, distinguished senators, my name is Mohamed Tahir Manguno. I represent Borno North Senatorial District, the Chief Whip of the House, standing in for the Leader of the Senate. The fourth to the 7 orders of the day are House bills for concurrence as listed in the order paper. Subject to the indulgence of the President, I may read the bills.
You may proceed.
Okay. The bills are: 1, Chartered Institute of Purchasing and Supply Management of Nigeria Act Amendment Bill 2025, HB 346, standing in the name of the Senate Leader. Then 2, Endangered Species Conservation and Protection Bill 2025, House Bill 1085. Number 3 is the Chartered Institute of Health Care Management of Nigeria Establishment Bill, House Bill 1262. And the last but not the least, the Chartered Institute of Loan and Risk Management of Nigeria Establishment Bill 2025, House Bill 629. These are the bills that came from the House for concurrence, and in the spirit of chamber reciprocity, I will urge my colleagues to support the second reading of this bill. Mr. President, distinguished senators, what this bill essentially seeks to do, for example, the Chartered Institute of Purchasing and Supply, the Chartered Institute of Healthcare Management, Chartered Institute of Loan and Risk Management, what these three bills essentially seeks to achieve is to bring the practice of those institutes in tandem with international best practice, and at the same time to regulate the practice of this profession with a view to stamping out quackery and then illegal practice of the profession in order to insulate members of the public from injury that may be associated with quack practice of this profession. So essentially, what these three bills seeks to achieve. Then the other one, which is the Endangered Species Conservation and Protection Bill, is what this bill seeks to achieve is essentially to conserve our flora and fauna, and at the same time to conserve our endangered species, because this is our heritage. We should conserve it so that future generation should also know what are our wildlife, what are our flora, what are our fauna, because this is our heritage. We don't want them to be completely consigned to the dustbin of history. So what this bill essentially seeks to achieve is to conserve, regulate the hunting and then the killing of our endangered species for the present generation and future generations that are yet unborn to benefit from these endangered species. Thank you.
Those in favor that this bill be read a second time, please say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The clerk of the Senate.
Mr. President, distinguished senators, a bill for an act to provide the Chartered Institute of Purchasing and Supply Management of Nigerian Act 2007 will be in tandem with what obtained in the procurement professional practice across the globe and for related matters 2025 HB 346, second reading. Mr. President, distinguished senators, a bill for an act to provide for the conservation and management of Nigerian-wide as required under the Convention of International Trade in Endangered Species of Wild Fauna and Flora cities to the Convention on Modality Species of Wild Animals CMS and associated agreement and the protocols and the Convention on Biological Diversity CBD, to which Nigeria is a party, and for related matters 2025 HB 1085, second reading. Mr. President, distinguished senators, a bill for an act to establish the Chartered Institute of Health Care Management of Nigeria to make provisions, among other things, for membership and control of the profession of healthcare management and for related matters 2025 HB 1260, second reading. Mr. President, distinguished senators, a bill for an act to establish the Chartered Institute of Loan and Risk Management of Nigeria to provide for the control of its membership and promote the practice of risk management in Nigeria and for related matters 2025 HB 629, second reading.
A bill for an act to amend the Chartered Institute of Purchasing and Supply Management of Nigeria Act 2007 to be in tandem with what obtains in the procurement professional practice across the globe and for related matters 2025 HB 346, second reading taken. Number 2, a bill for an act to provide for the conservation and management of Nigeria's wildlife as required under the Convention on International Trade in Endangered Species of Wild Fauna and Flora, CITES, in bracket, the Convention on Migratory Species of Wild Animals, CMS, and associated agreements and protocols, and the Convention on Biological Diversity, CBD, to which Nigeria is a party, and for related matters 2025, HB 1085, second reading taken. Number 3, a bill for an act to establish Chartered Institute of Health and Healthcare Management of Nigeria to make provisions. Order, Chief Whip. Chief Whip, can you bring order to the Senate? The Senate is rowdy. A bill for an act to establish Chartered Institute of Health Care Management of Nigeria to make provisions, amongst other things, for membership and control of profession of health care management and for related matters 2025, HB 1260, second reading taken.
Senator Lawal Dora, Senator Zangon Dora, Senator Tony Way, Senator Zangon Dora, resume your seat.
Chief Whip, restore order to the Senate.
Order.
Chief Whip. Chief Whip.
Order.
Order.
Order, please. He wants to read.
Thank you, Chief Whip, for restoring order to the Senate. I had wanted to read an order, but I think it's no longer necessary. Thank you very much.
Thank you for the guidance.
3, 4, a bill for an act to establish the Chartered Institute of Loan and Risk Management of Nigeria to provide for the control of its membership and promote this practice of risk management in Nigeria and for related matters 2025, HB 629, second reading taken. The Deputy Leader of the Senate sitting as the Leader of the Senate, can you proceed?
Mr. Senate President,
Senator Nada,
I seek
Senator
the
Nada, please sit
indulgence of
down.
distinguished senator.
All well. Senator Orwell, please order.
Be orderly.
Senator Ogoshi Mohammed, order.
Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, pursuant to Order 78 sub 3, I move that the bill be now referred to the Committee of Whole for consideration.
The Minority Leader.
Yeah, Mr. President, I second the motion that the bill be now referred to Committee of the Whole for further consideration.
Those in favor of the motion moved by the Leader and seconded by Minority Leader say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Chartered Institute of Purchasing and Supply Management of Nigeria Act Amendment Bill. Those in favor, that clauses 1, 2, 3, 4. Senator Adam Oshomole.
Mr. President, sir, I think just last week, this Senate resolved that in amending laws, we should see the principal law. You must see what is in that law that you think that we are convinced that this amendment will improve the efficacy of the law. Now, to amend what we have not seen, I thought we agreed. Because you remember that
Listen to Senator Adam Oshomole.
That led the leader of the House to request for the principal law with regards to abortion. Now, in the end, we have to, it's like driving a vehicle without a dashboard. So if we are amending the law, where is the law that we are amending? I appreciate that our colleagues in the House of Rep have done it. I mean, they've done their amendment, and it's for us to concur. But for God's sake, we should know how these amendments will add value to the quality of the existing law. I think as a matter of principle, all the principal laws should be available before we deal with the amendment. So we are amending something we don't know what it is.
Senator Adam Oshomole, let me respond to you by order. Senator Dixon, I think I should normally before bills are introduced in the first place, before the first reading is made, the gazetted bill is given to all senators and members of House of Reps, and it is expected that once you are in possession of that gazetted copy, you begin to make your research. That's why you have an array of consultants who do that research for you. It is assumed you have made that research. So by our system, it is assumed, it's given, that before the bill comes to this stage, you must have done your research, and then get yourself acquainted with all that is contained therein, including the principal acts. So at this point, going by the procedure, we are constrained to stop the processing of this bill at this stage. It's good that the Chief Whip please liaise with Senator Adam Oshomole so that he can avail himself with all these facts henceforth. Yes, please. So we go ahead. So those in favor that clauses 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, but let me go slow in case you've seen something that you want to pinpoint, that they should all be parts of this bill. Please say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor that the explanatory memorandum on page 55 and the long title on page 1 all become parts of this bill. Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Sorry, I take that again. The explanatory memorandum is on page 5. I don't have it on page 1. Sorry, not 55. So now let's go to Endangered Species Conservation and Protection Bill 2025 HB 1085. Senator Buhari, the Buhari of the Senate, will be happy to see you in your seat as an experienced legislator who has been around for decades. Those in favor that clauses 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 stand parts of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. Those in favor that clause 4 to 20 stand part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor that clauses 20 to 30 stand part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor that clauses 30 to 40 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. 40 to 50 stand part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. Those in favor that clauses 50 to 60 stand part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor that clauses clauses 50 to 55 stand part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor that the explanatory memorandum on page 55, non-titled on page 1, stand part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor that clauses 55 to 75 stand part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Chartered Institute of Healthcare Management of Nigeria, Establishment Bill. Those in favor that clauses 1 to 10 stand part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor that clauses 1 to 24, 20 to 20, 10 to 24 stand part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor that the explanatory memorandum on page 27 stand part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor that long time on page 1 stand part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Chartered Institute of Loan and Risk Management Nigeria, Establishment Bill 2025 AB 629. Those in favor that clauses 1 to 10 all stand part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor that clauses 10 to 23 all stand part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor that the explanatory memorandum on page 24, long title on page 1, all stand part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The ayes have it. The Senate leader, can you move that the committee of the whole revert to the plenary to report progress?
I stand to move a motion that we revert back to plenary for Mr. President to report progress.
Minority leader, can you second the motion?
Motion seconded as moved. Thank you.
Those in favor that the committee of the whole revert to plenary to report progress say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Report. The Senate, Senator Annie, Senator Professor Annie, you may take your seat. Thank you very much. Report. The Senate in the Committee of the Whole. Senator Ned Nwoko, you are disturbing Senator Simon Lalong. The Senate in the Committee of the Whole considered the Chartered Institute of Purchasing and Supply Management of Nigeria Act Amendment Bill 2025 and approved as follows. Number of clauses 1 to 16 as recommended. Short title as recommended. Explanatory memorandum as recommended. Long title as recommended. Is this a true reflection of what transpired in the Committee of the Whole? The Senate in the Committee of the Whole considered the Endangered Species Conservation and Protection Bill 2025 and approved as follows. Number of clauses as recommended. Interpretation, clause 74 as recommended. Short title, clause 75 as recommended. Schedules 1 to 5 as recommended. Long title as recommended. It is a true reflection of what transpired in the Committee of the Whole. The Senate in the Committee of the Whole considered the Chartered Institute of Healthcare Management of Nigeria Establishment Bill 2025. Number of clauses as recommended. Interpretation as recommended. Short title as recommended. Schedules 1 to 3 as recommended. Explanatory memorandum as recommended. Long title as recommended. It is a true reflection of what transpired in the Committee of the Whole. Report. The Senate in the Committee of the Whole considered the Chartered Institute of Loan and Risk Management of Nigeria Establishment Bill 2025 and approved as follows. Number of clauses 1 to 21 as recommended. Interpretation, clause 22 as recommended. Short title, clause 23 as recommended. Schedules 1 to 3 as recommended. Explanatory memorandum as recommended. Long title as recommended. Is this a true reflection of what transpired in the Committee of the Whole? The Senate leader, move on the third reading.
Mr. President, distinguished colleague, I stand to move a motion that this bill be now read the third time. I so move.
Minority leader, can you
Mr.
second the
President, I
motion?
second the motion that the bill be now read the third time. I second.
Those in favor of the motions, please say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The Clerk of the Senate.
Mr. President, distinguished senators, a bill for an act to amend the Chartered Institute of Purchasing and Supply Management of Nigeria Act 2007 to be in tandem with what obtains in the procurement professional practice across the globe and for related matters 2025 HB 346, third reading. Mr. President, distinguished senators, a bill for an act to provide for the conservation and management of Nigeria's wildlife as required under the Conservation of International Trade in Endangered Species of Wild Flora and Fauna cities, the Convention of Migratory Species of Wild Animals CMS and associated agreement and protocols, and the Convention on Biological Diversity CBD, to which Nigeria is a party, and for related matters 2025 HB 1085, third reading. Mr. President, distinguished senators, a bill for an act to establish the Chartered Institute of Health Management of Nigeria to make provisions, among other things, and for membership and control of the profession of healthcare management and for related matters 2025 HB 1260, third reading. Mr. President, distinguished senators, a bill for an act to establish the Chartered Institute of Loan and Risk Management of Nigeria to provide for the control of the membership and promote the practice of risk management in Nigeria and for related matters 2025 HB 629, third reading.
A bill for an act to amend the Chartered Institute of Purchasing and Supply Management of Nigeria Act 2007 to be in tandem with what obtains in the procurement professional practice across the globe, and for related matters 2025 HB, third reading, taken and passed. A bill for an act to provide for the conservation and management of Nigeria's wildlife as required under the Convention on International Trade in Endangered Species of Wild Fauna and Flora, in bracket CITES, the Convention on Migratory Species of Wild Animals CMS, in bracket, and associated agreements and protocols, and the Convention on Biological Diversity CBD, in bracket, to which Nigeria is a party, and for related matters 2025 HB 1085, third reading, taken and passed. A bill for an act to establish the Chartered Institute of Healthcare Management of Nigeria to make provisions, among other things, for membership and control of the profession of healthcare management and for related matters 2025 HB 1260, third reading, taken and passed. The last but not the least is the bill for an act to establish Chartered Institute of Loan and Risk Management of Nigeria to provide for the control of its membership and promote the practice of risk management in Nigeria and for related matters 2025 HB 629, third reading, taken and passed. Let me thank the August Senate for taking time to concur with the House of Representatives on the 5 bills that we have just processed. This in line with our practice of reciprocity to peace, even though sometimes there could be some amendments in respect to what is presented to us by the House of Representatives. But in most cases, it is assumed that proper work and intensive research has been made in respect to any bill that is brought before us by the House of Representatives. And I thank the leader for spearheading this exercise so that bills can be passed and then sent to Mr. President for his assent. Thank you, leader. So on this note, after consultation with you, I will then call for the adjournment of this August Senate tomorrow. Let's consult first. Sorry, there was a motion that was stepped down. We'll now bring it forward since we have more time. We have time to deal with it. It's to do with confirmation of the MD of Hyperdeck and is that with some other officials of the appointees, right? One person, right? So the leader can move to bring back that confirmation motion so that it could be dealt with to allow that motion to scale through. So we are bringing it back. What do we leave it tomorrow? What is tomorrow? Fine. This one, Kano.
Distinguished colleagues. That's something.
Distinguished colleagues, correspondence from Mr. President. The distinguished Senator Godswill Akpabio, GCON, President of the Senate, distinguished Senate President, appointment of Chief of Defense Staff. In compliance with the provisions of Section 18(1) of the Armed Forces Act Cap A20, this Quara meeting will not allow us to rest today. Distinguished Senate President, distinguished Senate President, appointment of Chief of Defense Staff. In compliance with the provisions of Section 18(1) of the Armed Forces Act, Cap A20, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, I am pleased to present for confirmation by the Senate the appointment of Lieutenant General O. Oluide as Chief of Defense Staff. While I hope that the Senate will consider this request expeditiously, please accept, distinguished Senate President, the assurances of my consideration and best regards. Yours sincerely, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, President, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces. Distinguished colleagues, this is referred to the Committee of the Whole for immediate consideration, and in view of the appointment of the Chief of Defense Staff, I plead with distinguished senators to reconsider and clear all of them, and then confirm them all at the same time. The Chief of Army Staff, Chief of Air Staff, Chief of Naval Staff. So if it is agreed by the Senate, I would like us to do it tomorrow, so that they can go straight and start work, so that we don't leave any gap in security. Is it the view of the Senate that this be taken tomorrow? Those in support say aye. Aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. May I also appeal that, in view of the need for us to ensure that the functionality of Hyperdeck, the appointment of the managing director and the rest of the areas step down could be taken as soon as possible, and if need be today. Is it the view of the Senate that we revisit the issue to be taken today? Those in support say aye. Aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. They have traveled. Okay. So the Senate leader revisit the issue of the appointment of Hyperdeck immediately.
Mr. President, very distinguished colleagues, I am rising, Mr. President, to
request that you invite the chairman of the Senate Committee on Power, His Excellency most distinguished Senator Abaribe, to present the report which he earlier laid before the Senate earlier today. I so move.
Minority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. President. I rise to second the motion ably moved by the Senate Leader. I second.
Distinguished colleagues, the motion has been moved and seconded that distinguished Senator Abaribe, Chairman of Power, be invited to represent the report on the clearance and confirmation of the Managing Director of Hyperdeck. Those in support of the motion have moved and seconded say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Distinguished Senator Abaribe, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. President. The Senate and the plenary session on Tuesday, 7th October, consider the request from the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federation for the confirmation of the renomination of Malam Abubakar Sadiq Yalwa for the second 4-year term as Managing Director of National Hydroelectric Power Producing Areas Development Commission, NHYPADEC, pursuant to Section 93(1) of the Electricity Act 2023 as amended, which states as follows: there shall be a Managing Director for NHYPADEC who shall be appointed by the President subject to the confirmation by the Senate. Pursuant to Order 39(2) of the Senate Standing Orders, Mr. President's request was referred to the committee on Wednesday, 8 October 2025 for further legislative action. For brevity, Mr. President, let me go direct to the findings. Findings. The committee findings ascertain that the nominee is qualified to hold the position ascribed to him on the Governing Council of the National Hydroelectric Power Producing Area Development Commission, pursuant to Section 93 of the Electricity Act 2023 as amended. 2, that the nominee is well qualified and have the relevant experience to be reappointed as Managing Director of the National Hydroelectric Power Producing Area Development Commission. 3, that the nominee was articulate in his responses to questions raised during the screening exercise. 4, that security checks did not reveal any negative information against the nominee. Committee resolution. Having considered the nominee's curriculum vitae and other relevant documents, in addition to the exhaustive interaction and deliberations, members of the committee unanimously agreed and alluded to the experience, exposure, performance, qualifications, competence, and integrity of the nominee as required by Section 93(1) of the Electricity Act as amended, and found him suitable for confirmation as Managing Director, Chief Executive Officer of NHYPADEC. Recommendation. Having carefully screened and thoroughly determined the nominee's credentials and being satisfied by with his responses, the Senate Committee on Power hereby recommends that the Senate do confirm the renomination of Malam Abubakar Sadiq Yalwa
as Managing Director, Chief Executive Officer of NHYPADEC for a second and final 4-year term. Prayer that the Senate do consider the report of the committee and approve its recommendations. I so move.
Any comment? The Deputy Senate Leader.
Yeah, Mr. Senate President, Senator Ashiru, a member of the committee. In fact, I am deputy to Abaribe, and we did a very beautiful job. This man is well known to us. He's been there for the past 4 years, and he had incredibly performed. For the sake of continuity, so that we will have more gain, those states that are covered by IPADEC, we find him extremely useful. And I will appeal to the President of Senate to quickly adopt this report so that the man can settle down to continue the good job he has been doing. I so support, Mr. President.
Well, this is not a contribution, it was an addendum to the report of the chairman. Since you are a member of the committee, it's an addition to the report. So let me call on Senator Alero, who the nominee was his commissioner. Maybe he wants to also add another thing to what the report has said. You have the floor, Your Excellency, former governor of Kebbi State.
Thank you, Mr. President. My distinguished colleagues, I rise to lend my support to the motion ably moved by the Chairman Power Committee that Honorable Sadiq Rawa be approved as Managing Director of HYPADEC for the second time. He merited that appointment because he has wonderfully performed very well to the expectation of all the beneficiary states or benefiting states. Being the pioneer governor of HYPADEC as far back as 2003, when the idea was came up, we met in Mina, if I could recall, under the chairmanship of late engineer Abdulkadir Kuri, the then governor of Niger State. We mooted the idea of forming the HYPADEC. And luckily, we were supported by the federal government. Because of the bureaucratic procedure, we couldn't get the HYPADEC established till 2019, during the time of President Muhammad Buhari. And since the establishment of that commission, it has done quite a lot in the area of providing infrastructure facilities that mitigate the impact of flooding in the benefiting states. The managing director has gone to every state, established several projects, and no wonder Mr. President found him suitable for reappointment as managing director of HYPADEC. And with this few remarks, I want to urge all my colleagues to support the confirmation of Honorable Sadiq Yarwa as Managing Director of HYPADEC for the second and last tenure.
Senator, former governor of Sokoto State and former speaker, who knows the nominee very well, wants to say something about him.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Amin Waziri Tambuwal, I represent Sokoto South. Abubakar Sadiq Yalwa and I have come a long way, right from our days in the university. We remain friends up until today. I know him to be a very, very committed individual. Once he is given a task, he performs optimally. No wonder when he was appointed the MD of this organization for the first time, he did exactly what Senator Adamu Aleru said. Indeed, he was a commissioner under Senator Adamu Aleru, and he was his chief of staff when he was Minister of FCT. So he's in a very good position to commend him. And Mr. President, on a lighter note, he's a very committed member of our party in Kebbi State, but he's my friend. I therefore recommend him highly because I believe in his competence and his capabilities to deliver on the job. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. You know, one will tell you that Mr. President is doing very well. Sometimes some people will say, you know, the opposition will say, you can see, even from the kind of people President appoint, you know, nominate for appointment, he takes the best for all these appointments. You can see the opposition parties also, you know, commending Mr. President for a job well done. For a job well done. See, so Mr. President is doing very well. Whatever he does, he always do everything in line with the interest of the nation. That you cannot fault. You can see the main opposition party, the ADC, is commending Mr. President. So, I mean, Mr. President, well done. Thank you very much. Continue on this part to bring prosperity to our nation. And thank you for commending Mr. President. Senator Adamu Shomole.
Mr. President, sir, I just wanted to add to the
Senator, former governor and a high-ranking senator, former speaker, is a member of the PDP, not ADC. Thank you very much. Sorry for that. Yeah.
My name is Adams Aliu Eric Oshomole, a friend of Senator Tambuwa. On the other side. Sir, I just thought, knowing the former speaker, now distinguished senator, former governor, that he's always economical with words when it comes to praising. By his own admission, just like you said, sir, about the fact that we have a president who doesn't even care whether someone is a friend of somebody in the opposition. But if you are competent and responsible and you have seasoned experience, party affiliation is not a consideration. Even if you are close, very close.
Point of order, Senator Abaribe. You have the floor.
But you have to read the order.
What order? What order, please? What order? Thank you.
Order what?
No. Senator Adamu Shomole, you can sit down. Once somebody raises point of order, the chair has to recognize that person, provided you say the order.
Yes. Mr. President, my order is that, let me get it now, the order. Senator Shomole is not well dressed, and therefore,
they're asking for what order?
Left to speak.
Order what?
55, I think, yes.
Order what? 85 section what? 55.
One second remaining.
Yes. 5513.
5513, okay, right. I'm sorry, there's nothing like that. I therefore rule you out of order. You may continue.
Okay. I will just round up by commending our president, as you have said, that we need leaders who will see beyond the narrow confines of their political party when they are in search for who can get the job done. As our president has always said, he said, that can do spirit. You can find it across the 36 states and FCT. And I'm happy that former speaker, former governor, now distinguished senator, agreed with these rare qualities of a leader, and therefore might even decide to reconsider why he should remain where he is, knowing that that is not where the future belongs. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Senator Adamu Shomole. Your observations is highly noted by the Senate. Senator Plan.
President of the Senate, our leader, distinguished colleagues, I'm Senator Ticket Lang.
Your mic.
I'm Senator Ticket Lang. I represent Plateau Central. I rise to also lay my voice on the unanimous trust and belief that my colleagues have on him. My other aspect is that I'm coming from one of the states that's a beneficiary of this commission. And I would wish that just as for the fact that there is no desire to have vacuum, the other commissioners, Mr. President, should do his best to ensure that the team is complete, sir. That's my own addition. Because the other commission members, their tenure has finished and appointment has not been done. I pray that that will be done to enable the chairman maximize the opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you. The leader of Senate. Can we move to go to the committee of whole to consider report?
Thank you, Mr. President, and very distinguished colleagues. I rise to move that the Senate reverts to committee of the whole to enable for further consideration of this report. Thank you.
The minority leader.
Thank you, Mr. President. I rise to second the motion that the Senate revert to committee of the whole to consider the report.
Those in favor of the motion moved by the leader, seconded by minority leader, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it.
Distinguished colleagues, please, let's try and restrict ourselves to the issues in discussion so we'll be fast. We expect the EU delegation to meet with us. Senator Tambua cannot be an issue in this Senate. Whether he's attending meeting of ADC, whether it's ADC or PDP or ABGA, it's not important. The only thing that will be important is if he becomes a member of APC. Outside that, we should ignore him. Yes. I did not. What did you discover? Well, thank God you just commended APC now for working very well in HYPADEC for Nigeria. So thank you for the recommendation and commending the president for recognizing that APC member is working very well in HYPADEC. Thank you. So distinguished colleagues, will the Senate approve the nomination of Malam Abubakar Sadiq Yelwa for a second 4-year term as Managing Director, CEO of the National Hydroelectric Power Producing Areas Development Commission of Nigeria? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Accordingly, the nomination of Malam Abubakar Sadiq Yelwa for a second 4-year term as Managing Director, CEO of the National Hydroelectric Power Producing Areas Development Commission is hereby approved. Leader of the Senate.
Mr. President, sitting as chair, very distinguished colleagues, I rise to move that the Senate reverts to plenary to enable the chairman report progress. I so move.
The minority leader.
Mr. President, sitting as chair, I second the motion that the Senate do revert to plenary for for the chair to report progress. I so second.
Distinguished colleagues, the motion has been moved and seconded that this hallowed chamber do revert to plenary for the chairman to report progress. Those in support say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Senator Issa Jibrin approach the chair. Distinguished colleagues, the Senate in the Committee of the Whole considered the report of the Committee on Power on the screening of Mr. President's nominee for appointment as the Managing Director, Chief Executive Officer of the National Electrical Power Producing Areas Development Commission, and HYPADEC, and approved the nomination of Malam Abubakar Sadiq Yewa as the Managing Director, Chief Executive Officer of the National Hydroelectrical Power Producing Areas Development Commission. Is this a true reflection of what transpired in the Committee of the Whole? Distinguished colleagues, will the Senate confirm the nomination of Malam Abubakar Sadiq Yewa for a second four-year term as Managing Director, CEO of the National Electric Power Producing Areas Development Commission? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The nomination of Malam Abubakar Sadiq Yewa is hereby confirmed for a second four-year term as Managing Director, CEO of the National Hydroelectric Power Producing Areas Development Commission. Let me thank the Chairman of the Senate Committee on Power, distinguished Senator Abaribe, the members of this committee, my distinguished colleagues, particularly our elder statesmen, for their contributions and insights regarding the knowledge of this very hardworking man that has caught the attention of Mr. President to be given another four-year term. And commend particularly the distinguished Senator Adero and all those who trained him and those associated with him, including Senator Tambua, for, of course, you all contributed to his training, that he has continued to uphold the values of patriotism and hard work. And to the point where the Senate today has not only confirmed him, but has congratulated him for the first four-year term. And we want to wish him luck. We want to tell him to keep up to keep the flag flying and continue to remain a detribalized Nigerian to serve his country for more years to come. Congratulations to Mr. President for finding him worthy to be so reappointed. I thank you all. Leader of the Senate.
Mr. President, very distinguished colleagues, having concluded today's proceedings on the order paper, I hereby move that the Senate do adjourn till Wednesday, 29th of October 2025 at 11 a.m. I so move.
Minority Leader.
Mr. President, I rise to second that the Senate do adjourn till Wednesday, 29th October 2025. I so second.
Distinguished colleagues, the motion has been moved and seconded that this hallowed chamber do stand adjourned to the 29th day of October 2025 at 11 a.m. prompt. Those in support of the motion for adjournment say aye. Those against say nay.
Nay.
The ayes have it. So we meet with the committee on the EU committee by 3 p.m. in Senate President's Conference Room 301. Thank you.